Hey guys, this is Derekus, and this is Channel Zapped. Today I'm going to be reviewing Naruto, chapter 659. This chapter was pretty much progressing along. It yet again tells us or shows us why Madara is pretty much a straight boss. He's just kicking as usual. I'm like, and everybody else. And this pretty much focuses on Madara versus the Nine Tails, and well, all the tailed beasts. And we have a little bit of interplay between Obito and the Black Zetsu, and them trying to figure out, or the Black Zetsu's trying to take the left Reningin, and Obito's trying to fight back. And meanwhile, he's pretty much asking why the Black Zetsu just won't let him die and then take the Reningin. And he's like, well, I'm no dummy. He was like, I'm standing here in front of the fourth Hokage and Kakashi. And he was like, I'm not stupid. I'm like, the moment you die and I take the eye, they're going to kill me before they're going to kill me before I even have a chance to take the eye. So that was that was pretty cool. I'm like, because I love it when people acknowledge just how badass Kakashi is. He doesn't have a lot of chakra, but he more than makes up with it, just his broad array of jitsus and his skill as a shinobi. So that's cool. But getting back to the Madara fight, you have he's sitting there, he's bleeding from the last attack that he received from. I'm assuming it was from Sasuke, because Sasuke got him with his blade in the previous chapter, and he jumped back, and now he's sitting there, he's bleeding, and he realizes, he's like, oh crap, I can feel pain, and he's bleeding everywhere, and he's like, oh, this is what it's like, and he gives this creepy ass laugh where he's just like, I'm human again, I have this power, and I'm like, you gave up immortality, but if you couldn't use all of your abilities when you were just, when you were a reanimated corpse, then now you can use it when you're alive. I guess the trade-offs must have been worth it. I'm like, because he wanted to be real again. He wanted to be a real boy. And Zetsu, he made this funny comment. He was like, you need to be more careful. He was like, you're bleeding everywhere. We should probably take a step back. And Madara's like, dude, I got this. He's like, I got Hashirama's DNA in me. He's like, I can heal, but for appearance's sake, I do have a rep to maintain. So I'm gonna play it a little bit. I'm gonna be a little more reserved. I'll be a good little shinobi. I'll dodge the attacks. I'm not gonna go out and be reckless. He was like, because I got a rep to maintain. So and I found that pretty hilarious. Madara can be pretty hilarious with his condescending and just like his his self depreciating humor. He's like, oh well, I gotta do this for, because he did that a lot with the battle with the five Kages, where he's like, I used my God, his big statue. I can't think of it. Just think of it. Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. But anyway, he toyed around with the five Kages, and he sits back. He was like, "Man, I got a rep to maintain again, and I can't use this technique because they say that if you already used it, you don't live to see it again." So he's just pretty funny that way. I love that about Madara, and still he still shows that he's a badass. The interplay between the back and forth between the one tail and the nine tail is still kind of hilarious. They go back and forth, and evidently they just have they antagonize each other, and which I find to be pretty freaking hilarious. And I'm glad to see that the tail beasts, they have this kind of interplay. They all know each other. They've known each other for an extremely long time, even back. I mean, because they all used to be one beast, and now when the Sage of the Sixth Path divided them up and they became their own sentient they gain their own personality, sentience, and it's good to see them have conversation back and forth, and I like how they interact with their Jinkyuris, most of the time. Most of the time, I like that. B, you don't get we. I think this is our first time really seeing B in a while, and the only thing we get from him is just like a shocked face, like he's like, "Oh, we got chained," because Madara. He's like, because they were all pulled out and weakened from Obito, by Naruto and the Shinobi Alliance. They're all out and they're battling Madara also, but in the end, Madara, he pretty much just chains them all up, and he um, has them ready to be pulled into the giant statue. Um, Susanoo, that's the big statue, that Madara was able to call forth, and what I was talking about earlier. Never mind, the moment's passed. But this chapter, it was a good time. It wasn't the greatest, but it did do some explaining, in the sense of Madara, he has his body. He's enjoying the fact that he's alive again. Kakashi, it's nice to see Kakashi with Manito, the fourth Hokage. I've always loved Kakashi. He's one of my favorite ninjas. He doesn't have to be the most powerful, because those kind of shinobi, they're I'm more of a fan of the second Hokage, the third Hokage, in terms of intelligence, how they develop techniques, they're observant, they analyze things. That's why Shikamaru is one of my favorite ninjas. Um, and I'm not really a fan of like the overpowered ninjas. It's one of the reasons why I like Itachi. Even though I tend to I tend to not favor the Uchiha, just because of how OP they are with their Sharingans. So that, and the Senju clan with that overpowering chakra levels. I'm just like, okay, now we're getting into Dragon Ball Z territory. So I tend to favor, the analytical ninjas. But so that's why I kind of love Kakashi. So I'm glad to see that he was back in the fight, particularly since he was just chilling for like 30 years, it seems like, in the other dimension when Obito sucked him in. And he was just sitting there just like, man, I just need to sit here and rest, which is one of the things that I find funny about Kakashi. When he does a big technique, he just goes chill in a hospital or something. But anyway, this chapter, all in all, really good. I liked it. Story wise, it moves along incrementally. Nothing really explained, but it was a good little action piece. We get to see Madara toy around with people. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this one. I'm looking forward to issue 660. I really want to see where this goes. I'm actually kind of ready for this war to be over with. I really am. But I'm gonna enjoy it while I can. So yeah. Tell me what you guys think down below. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Ready to have discussions about this. I love Naruto. I talk about it all the time with my brother and my cousins. I'm like, we can talk hours for Naruto. So yeah, this is my first Naruto review, and hopefully you guys like it. Again, let me know what you think. So Christmas time is almost here, and I still wrap presents like a 4-year-old. It's really sad, but it's a good time. All right, be safe, guys. Check you guys out later. Peace.